Hi everyone, welcome to Kats Creations. As promised, I said that I would try to sneak in another public live today, and I'm so happy I could bring this to you. Super excited because everything from orchestrating this design just came out so flawless. I cannot wait to share this with you. So I'm sure you guys saw the little sneak peek photo that went out earlier, which is this little itty bitty sign, which is like a 4x5. So this was my design inspiration. Actually, it was like a secondary part of the design inspiration. So we're gonna be putting a Santa kit together. Never done one of those before. And so I was thinking of a sign, and I'm thinking, what kind of sign really goes well with Santa? So it's either going to be something about being on the nice and naughty list, where's milk and cookies, and then I came across this sign that I had picked up last year. Was it last year? No, I think it was this year in when we went to Shinoda in March. So it was this little postcard sign, which I totally loved. I meant for it to go on a much smaller wreath, and it's actually a real postcard. It's made out of wood. But Santa's going to be holding it like he just received a letter from the North Pole. So this is perfect for kids that are like, I remember what it was like to be a parent. And we were constantly reminding our kids, to make sure that, you stay on the nice list. So I love the design. Can't wait for you to see everything that kind of came together perfectly for this. I didn't even know if I had like the correct ribbon to match. But you'll see as we start piecing the design together, it's all flawless. Here's the key. I will not be able to replicate this wreath. Why? The kit itself is completely sold out for this season, completely sold out for the year. So I looked in a wide variety of other places like eBay, Amazon, trying to find the kit. There are versions of the kit, but it's not exactly the same. So this one, along with the sign and the Deco mesh. This was the last roll of Deco mesh, and I just happened to get it on they only had one left, so I happened to pick that up. I thought, oh, that's pretty. I'll save it for a cool design. So we're going to put everything all together in this design. So housekeeping items really quick. If you like this design and want to replicate it, which I'm all for, if you guys love it, great. Make sure you share it, because then it's easier to find on your page than on mine. Mine I post way too much stuff. If you want to be notified when we go live, because you guys know we're always Friday at 5 on the California side, or 7 or 8 p.m. Central and East. But we're trying to incorporate an additional weekly live for you guys, both on YouTube and on Facebook, so that you guys get twice the designs for the week. So in order to be notified when we go live unexpectedly, make sure you like and follow this page. You need to do both in order to get the notifications to work without being put on a robocall list where you get notified every single time someone goes live. Unless that's something you want, liking and following just gives you that one-time courtesy. Hey, this person's going live, if you want to click and go right to their page. YouTube subscribers, this is a recorded live from Sunday, October the 11th of the year 2020. So if you're catching this is a replay from a earlier Facebook Live. If you want to take part in the lives, come over to the Facebook page, especially on Fridays at 5, 7, and 8 p.m., depending on your time zone. And then you can participate and ask live questions. But for YouTube people, if you ask a question, I do go through these daily, and I will respond to your question. Also, if you're a first timer, and this is your first time finding us tonight, let us know. We like to try to get you connected with another person that might be nearby. And that's all I have. Do you have some people joining us?
Yeah, welcome gals. Stacy Poxon, Bonita, Tony Thomas, Debbie, Nancy, Joanne, Gail, Kathleen Berg. She said it's first time watching.
Welcome.
Nissy, Jamie, Nancy, Maria, Carolyn, Susan, bunch of other gals. Welcome.
Okay, perfect.
And then you can say the door.
Oh, look. So for those of you that have been watching me the last 3 years, we've always had a white door behind. So with this design, I was like, you know what? we've always meant to paint the other side of the door black, but if you've heard my story before, the other side of the door actually got damaged when we were trying to do an outside photo shoot. So we've only been able to just do the one side. Well, I talked Steven to get another door because this will give us 4 different backgrounds, from a royal navy blue to white to black. And then we're going to wood stain the other side. So this is our black door that we'll be using for wreaths, or lots of people have a black front door. So it's kind of nice when you can kind of visualize what this wreath would look like on that door. So there you go.
Yay.
Anything else?
No, Nancy said first time from Tucson, Arizona. So welcome all the new gals.
Love Arizona. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this all wired up. This is a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. So I like to, people say, well, why don't you use work frame wreaths? Why are you trying to, use dollar wreath frames and pipe cleaners? If we can keep our costs down, then we can keep the overall cost of the product down. So that's always my number 1 priority, why I do what I do. Number 2 is I have to remember not everybody has access or the funds to be able to spend $5 to $7 on a wired work frame. So this is the alternative. So starting at basics helps people who are just beginning to be able to get involved in the process. So picking up one of these 14-inch wire wreath frames, and I know people have been following me for a while, we already know. But for those of you joining us for the first time, you may not know. So on a 14-inch wire wreath frame, you have 4 rings that go around the wreath, and there are 6 sections to every single part of the wreath frame. And they're all going to be wired exactly the same. So you're going to take your pipe cleaner, you're going to put it where your weld marks are, you're going to find a midway point, and you're going to actually wire 2 of your rings together. And it's going to be the 2 innermost rings is going to get 1. And then we are going to take our section here, and you basically just use the weld mark and your middle pipe cleaner as a basis for determining middle, and then just kind of go right in the middle, and you're going to go and wire the outer 2 just like so. And then I'm going to go over here and do this one. That gives you 6 inside pipe cleaners, and then there is 12 on the outside. And then we don't have to glue them. They're pretty stable. They don't move around. They don't flip-flop. So this design is pretty much universal with 6 of the Deco mesh methods that I'll teach you. So tonight we're doing Ruffles, and we're going to be using this amazing Deco mesh. This is a high foil metallic, which means that every other column has a wide foil in it. So it goes from green, white, and gold into this gorgeous metallic red. So we're going to be adding this across all the pipe cleaners. These are cut to 20-inch pieces, wide 20-inch. Well, when you're dealing with a 10-inch roll of Deco mesh that's 10 yards in a package, if you measure out 20 inches for 18 pipe cleaners, you will have exactly 18 pieces, which means you won't have any leftover rolls. So even though this one is really thick, and I could have probably taken this down to a 10 or 15, there's no sense, because number 1, I don't have any more of this to use later. This is it. So we're going to use it all. So to ruffle, you are going to start, you are going to lay it face down so it's not rolling. I'm not doing it this way to do the ruffle. I'm doing it against the way that the design wants to curl. And then you're going to pull your Deco mesh towards you. This one's really easy, so all we're going to do is follow that middle row, color band, whatever you want to call it. It's super thick, so this is going to be a nice job. Why? And then someone will ask me,
You need a pipe cleaner. You missed one.
oh, I do. Okay, thanks, Steve.
Do you need another?
No, I have some here. But yeah, Steve caught that I missed one. So
Actually,
thank you.
Judy caught it. Thank you, Judy.
You guys are on it. Thank you guys for picking that stuff up. Because sometimes, like, I just did a live in my private group, so I was like trying to double stage both of them. And what do we need? Black. Black. There we go.
There's another Judy Hager that says, "Hello, Ken Steve. Thank you for making the candy cane lane wreath with the swirl method.
Oh, yeah.
That method is new for me, and I am hooked. Thank you."
It's so nice. Okay, so
That's a tough one, though, huh?
it's not tough. It's just the 10-inch, and then you fold it. Remember? You make jellyfish.
Oh.
Do you know which one? Like the peppermint candy with the little C's?
Yeah.
That's not hard. It's easy.
I thought she meant the loop and swirl one. Wonder where you feed the deco mesh through each of them. Okay.
The candy cane lane was the one that we just finished. Poor Steve.
Mary, the deco mesh is cut to 20 inches on this.
Exactly 20, so that way it completely goes through the entire roll. This deco mesh came from Kringle Designs. So like I said, when I place the order, I generally will always order 2 just to be on the safe side. And when I went to check out, I only was able to check out with 1, which generally means there was only 1 available. So I have not checked to see if this deco mesh is available at Craft Outlet or the Wreath Shop. Usually that's something I do, but I didn't get a chance. So I can tell you that if I had to rave about a particular type of deco mesh that I would want to use that's high foil, this would be it, because it is really nice. This is cut with a wood burning tool so that we seal the edges so that it kind of melts all those cut edges, so we shouldn't experience
Welcome,
any fraying.
Rosalind. She said, "Love watching." Roz from Ontario, Canada.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Roz. So I lay my ruffles in finished edges to the inside and the outside. The reason why I do that is because if a customer's going to handle the wreath, it's going to be around the edges. So we don't want them to have the cut edges exposed, because that's where it's going to fray, if it's going to fray.
That was a great segue because Judy had just asked, which way does Kat lay down those ruffles?
Yep, face down just like this. So this is exactly how it's going to get laid right into that form.
So your cut edges are side to side and your finished edges are top and bottom.
Yeah, finished, unfinished. So right down into this form. What it should be doing is cutting the middle ones. So I'm going to do that too. I'll start doing that on the ones where I'm hitting the middle. So what I mean is I already know that I'm not going to be needing the interior ones. I just needed them. Yeah, I just needed them to hold the deco mesh for the inside. Let me grab this one. And people ask me why you color coordinate your pipe cleaners. Is there a reason for that? In this case, no. In the one we just did in my private group, yes, there was actually a method to that. And that helped keep me on track to know what went where. Like what color deco mesh. And here we go. It seems like these are cut longer than 20, but nope. I know for a fact because I cut them, but they sure feel like they're much longer. And it's really thick, which is really nice. Means it'll hold up really well. Okay. So usually what I try to do is prep the next pipe cleaner for the mesh, knowing which direction I'm going to put it in. And that just slid right on out. And I just have a tendency when I do the ruffle method is I just pick one point on the wreath and just go to the next pipe cleaner. Some people start on the inside and then work their way to the outside. That's just a designer's preference.
Judy said she got the Deco mesh from Kringle Design.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 10-inch, considered a high foil.
Yes, definitely high foil. Believe it or not, I think this one on the label, because I actually changed it how I wrote the materials list. This is called Tinsel Deco Mesh. And so I'm thinking because there is such thickness to it, and the method of the foils is so thick and so much. But this one's gonna definitely like sparkle. Had to use thicker ones.
Hey, Melody said I planned on making a wreath today, but I got busy decorating my outside. Good for you.
Outside as in Christmas or outside as in fall?
That's Kringle with a K, Judy. Kringle Design.
Yeah,
As in Chris Kringle.
right. And technically that is the reason why, is because the shop owner's name is Chris. So they went with Crinkle.
Cute.
Yeah, it is really cute.
Gail said my fingers are raw and hurt from making 5 wreaths this weekend. Good for you.
I
And
know.
most of them sold.
Yeah, most of them sold. So well worth it. You didn't have to bring them home, take photos, list them. They sold where you were. So that's always a good thing. I saw too at our local farmers market. Remember when we went for the first time? Mm-hmm. There's actually a person who sells wreaths, and they're actually teaching classes at her booth. Remember?
Yeah.
So,
but all they're really doing is adding leaves on them, and
leaves
they were
and
fall.
flowers.
Yeah.
But it's still a unique idea.
It is,
So
yeah.
for those of you doing a craft fair, maybe you want to do a quickie like wreath class. You know, maybe bring enough materials and teach people how to make a wreath on a budget.
Kay, that's a good compliment. She said, I love how you explain everything. Beginners can learn so much from you. Thank you so much.
I have to remember that. We were talking about that in our private group, is that when you start doing Facebook Lives, don't ever forget the people who are joining you for the first time, that this may be your 400th, YouTube video or Facebook Live, but to one person watching you for the first time, this is their first time. So don't lose those people.
Mm-hmm. Jen said, hey all, I've learned so much watching y'all. Thanks from way down south, Cantonment, Florida.
Nice.
We got a bunch of Floridians
I don't
on
know
here.
where
Peggy
that
and
is.
Gail and a whole bunch of other women. Said way down south, so it's got to be down there by the Keys or somewhere.
Could be.
Miami.
Or they could be like way south, like Australia.
They said Cantonment, Florida.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying you could make that same,
Oh yeah.
you know, that it could be,
Lend of the mesh is cut to 20 inches.
because I don't like leftovers. This is the reason why. So that's one of those tips where you learn over time, because I have an entire shelf full of leftover mesh because we weren't cutting. You would cut a deco mesh like this maybe at 10 or 15 inch pieces because you didn't need to go quite so thick, just because it's a heavy duty deco mesh.
And you told me a good tip too, that the full 20 inches would take up pretty much the whole roll, and you never know if the manufacturer's going to be short a little bit on the roll. So the last couple pieces you just did at 19 and a half, that way you had enough.
Yeah,
right?
there's been a couple times that I'll do that at like 19. Like I don't go exactly 20 on some of them, because we've all had that happen. And I've had that happen before, where I cut every single piece at exactly 20, and all I get is 17 pieces of deco mesh, because that's just how it was on the roll, even though it says it's a 10-yard roll. Technically it wasn't. So always good just to kind of err on the just in case side. And on
Margaret.
this one, we didn't have to go 20.
Margaret, don't worry about it. She said, why would anybody put an angry face on the post? There's a lot of times that people go to pick an emoji and they hit it by accident. So we don't even.
I do it. I do it. And then I feel really bad and I'm like, oh my God, I got to go back in and take the angry face off.
Yeah, and there's some times where I miss a post comment or two, so it's okay.
And then
if we do miss it, just repost it on there saying, Steve, did you see my comment?
Exactly.
Because sometimes for whatever reason, I don't see all the comments. Sometimes it'll miss one, and I'll have to log out and log back in.
Exactly. That's a good point. So yeah, if your question isn't addressed, and it's not that he's ignoring it, he probably just didn't see it. Okay. Come on, 4. 1, 2, yeah, I have 3 left. Okay. I'm trying not to skip any. What do you guys think of this color Deco mesh for Christmas? It doesn't have a lime green. It's kind of like a in-between. Has a lot of the gold and white foil, so just a little bit. Not a whole lot. You can tell that I'm getting to the rolls that were closer to the edge because they're really tightly curled. And the only reason I put my scissors down is so the ends don't roll up underneath while I'm trying to put the last piece in.
Hi, Lynetta. She said, hey, I must have missed it, but when did the door become black? So I bought her a new prop door.
I have a new prop door.
And I put some casters on it so it's easy for her to roll.
It has wheels. I'm super excited because it's like, there's been so many times where, you have that aching back syndrome because you've done Facebook Lives all week. And I was telling Steve, could you just put it on wheels? Like you just roll it to the side. Mm-hmm. And yes, I got wheels. I am mobile. And the other door is just going to stay in the garage because now as we start to go into the winter, it gets darker quicker. So now even when I finish my lives at sometimes 6 or 6:30, it's already too dark for me to take photos. And it's important for me to get the photos up right away. So now we just move the photography stuff to the garage.
Okay, yeah, this mat that she's making would make an excellent deco mesh for a nutcracker wreath. As long as it's those colors, yeah, it would make a great color.
Yeah, it really would.
And then she said, should I use a bigger frame? I don't think so.
Are you going to be shipping it would be my question. If you are making it for your door, make it as big as you'd like. But if you're thinking about can I sell this? You got to look at packaging. So if you've got something 36 or 48 inches long, it's not going to ship well. It's going to be expensive.
I think she said I need to make one for my son.
Oh.
Should I use a bigger frame? Nah.
Well, I made a nutcracker wreath for a friend. And I think we just used this because this is going to give you a finished dimension of 25 to 26 inches. So you're going to have the nutcracker head, you're going to have the arms up to the side, and then you're going to have those 3-foot legs. So I would say no. I would say just do it this way because the standard size door is only 36 inches wide. So this, when you place that on the door, you don't have much room to go much wider at all. That looks really nice on the black door, by the way.
It does.
So, okay, we're all set. Making sure. Let me pull all my pipe cleaners down so I can find them, because they have a tendency of getting all squirrely. And then we're gonna make our bow before we go ahead and place Santa in this wreath. So you guys get to see, I'll show you Santa, because Santa's super cute. So you kind of see the direction of where I'm going and why I chose the ribbons I did. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside. Put it up here. So look, here's the Santa kit. And they don't have any more. So I already looked. Because you guys always ask, and I'm like, here's a good place where you can get them. So comes with the Santa face, which is from the bottom of his beard to the top of his hat is 14 inches. And then by 10 inches wide at the widest point. So that's his head. So there are ones available on like Amazon. But the size of the head is half the size. So even when you look at the photo of them putting it on a wreath, it's really small. So it looks like the same one. And then he has his gloves and he has his Santa legs. So this guy is gonna go in there by the time we're all said and done. So yeah. So now you guys know Santa's going in the wreath. And we're gonna make our bow. So I'm gonna show you. So keep in mind the sign. So we have this white glitter on white. It says, what does it say? Oh, just the North Pole. So all the way around in 2.5 inch. And then this came from Craft Outlet. Then there's the Santa belt ribbon, which is super cute because Santa don't have a belt. Doesn't have a body either, really. This is from Hobby Lobby. So you can get it in the G box. If you guys have never thought about that before, when you go look at the ribbon racks on Hobby Lobby, they're all like in an alphabet box. So what the G means is all the G ribbon matches and coordinates with us, so you don't have to do the thinking. So we're gonna be adding that. And then we're adding this red lame, which came from Michael's. So it's the sparkle without the glitter. And then we're adding a black, looks like this. So it's the same thing, black without the glitter. Right now, glitter is the bane of most crafters' existence. So it kind of becomes like a tinsel type of glitter. This came from Joann's back in 2017. I think they came out with it in 2018. So I want to say Michael's, maybe Hobby Lobby is carrying something similar. And then we're doing a green type of lame. This one isn't quite so glittery as this one, but it's still got that iridescent look. This is in the D box at Hobby Lobby. And then we're doing the Santa ribbon with the Santa faces with the little stripes on the end. So that's in the A box at Hobby Lobby. So setting this up, I'm gonna put the white down so it pops against all that red. We're saving the Santa face for the very end. I knew that for sure. And then I think we're gonna pop the green, then the red, then the black, and then there we go. Those are gonna be how our ribbon is laid out. Do you guys like the ribbon? I didn't even know I had this. When I went in my craft room, I was like, oh, that's so perfect. So, dovetail, right? Back in the day, we would just go scissors in, scissors out. So you're gonna take the wired edges, you're gonna bring them together. You're gonna take your scissors and go from the folded side right to the point of that wire. And then depending upon how deep you want your V is where you're gonna position your scissors along the fold, but always going towards that point, the very end of our wired ribbon. And then that gives you like that really perfect look so that all your Christmas presents this year are gonna be like right on. And this ribbon, because it is worded ribbon, we wanna make sure that the words stay right side up. You guys know how it is. Sometimes when we're doing ribbon and we're putting it in our bow maker, the words can be, they're right on half of the bow and then the other half they're upside down. So I'm gonna show you a trick on how to do this. So we're gonna measure in at 10 inches. So you're gonna pinch that in. You guys normally have seen me to where we do the twist and then we flip it. And then right there, if we were to do that in the Bow Dabra, we're already encountering the first problem. So we have it upside down on the tail and then right side up on the loop. And then if we twisted this again and flipped it, you're gonna be back to upside down. So we need to fix that so it all stays the same. So you're gonna keep your Bow Dabra handy because once you get everything done, you're gonna put it in there to hold it because ain't no one got time to hold it that long. And we know we're making 5.5 inch loops. So that means that I'm gonna go 11 inches because that is exactly 11 inches, right? And then you're gonna flip it over. So when we flip it over and then pinch it, everything is staying the right direction, right? And then, so don't twist this. Just measure off another 11 inches. You're gonna pinch this. You're gonna bring this over and you're gonna hold on to it here. Because now everything, the words and everything are staying the same. I haven't cut my ribbon. And then I need to go 10 inches. So I'm gonna come right about here. And then I'll dovetail that once I put this in. So rather than hold this, this is what your bow dabber is for. There's my extra set of hands. So now I can dovetail this one. And if you look, ta-da, the ribbon is all facing the same direction. So you gotta do it in your hand first and then put it in there. But don't do the twist, just do the pinch. So that's how you get your ribbons looking fabulous. Fabulous, right? Okay. That's thick ribbon. Okay, Santa, the Santa belt. We can do the exact same thing with the Santa belt. So we can do, because then this is another replay on that process. So 9.5 inches for this one. We're gonna pinch all that together. I like to just take my time. We're gonna go 10 inches, right? Yeah, because this is a 5-inch loop. So we're gonna bring that in. So all of our belts are going the same. We're gonna take another 10 inches. And I'm gonna try to do it this way. So that when I join this to the one in my hand, and then we're going 9.5 inch tail. Give your fingers a break. So put that all in here, and then we'll dovetail the end. And then the Santa belt is all going in the same direction. Just like this. Do you guys have any questions about that?
Sabrina said, your bows are always fabulous. Della said, love learning how to make bows from you.
I just found that I was like, there has to be a better way that we can get the ribbon to match. You know, like to get the print to go, because before I was doing what most of us probably did is cut. You cut the tails, you make the loop separate, and then you just pray, right, that everything stays in when you tie your bow pieces together. So this one's gonna be 9-inch tail. This one I am gonna twist. So now we're going back to the old way of using the bow dabber, which is measure and twist. So I'm going to measure, keeping this on the 10 and stretching this out. Is it at 4.5 inches? And the answer is yes. So now I can do the other side.
Where's the Santa belt ribbon from?
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby in the G box. So if you go into Hobby Lobby tomorrow, the only thing you have to like remember is just go to the G box. And we found out that Hobby Lobby just put all their Christmas on sale for 50% off.
Yeah, I think Peggy said that. Peggy found
Right.
it.
So we're not at the 40% anymore, which is a good thing.
Hi, Kim. Hey, gals, just joining.
Okay. There's that. Should just leave that open. Okay, now we're gonna go red, then black, and then green. I don't know why I have this on a rubber band. That's because it's old. So this is called tinsel ribbon. And this means no glitter. Looks like glitter. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was a big bang.
Don't know if you guys heard that big boom.
Kim, Sam's did get ribbon this year, but we heard it was the same as last year.
Yeah, that's what other people said. I haven't been to Sam's this year. I haven't even been to Costco this year. I need to go there.
So Roxana, when Kat says the G box, Hobby Lobby categorizes and has all the same kind of colored ribbon in boxes that are open that you can see all the same color. So you need to look for the G box, and it'll have all the same type of colored ribbon as the black and red belt. It'll have black and red and white other colors in there. If they have a U box or a double U box, and they have each box is
double A.
Right. It's a color pattern that they put together.
So you could basically grab any ribbon that's in that box, and it's all color coordinated to work together.
Right.
So if I know, for example, that I need to go buy more G ribbon, I just walk straight into Hobby Lobby, go into the Christmas ribbon section, and all I do is look for the G's. And then I go find the Santa belt.
Yep.
Much easier that way. You would think the Santa face would be in a G box too, but it's not. This should use up the last of this black. This is how, for those of you making the Santa hats out of the Dollar Tree witch wreath frames, this is how I make my belt. So this gets wrapped around the top of my Santa hat with the little belt buckle that comes on the witch hat. So this is why this is critical to have. So when you make Santa wreaths, that's what you use it with.
Carla said Sam's has a large selection for $6.98. I got a whole bunch yesterday.
They really do. Yeah. It's great for those of you that want to practice bows but don't want to like waste all the really nice ribbon. Just pick up a couple rolls and then just start bow practicing. So just to cover, we start at 10 inches for the tails, and then we come up a half inch every single time we add a new ribbon. So it's 10.
I thought it was 11.
No.
That one was 11. You started at 11 because
No.
your bows were 5.5 inches. So it was 11 for your tail.
That would be
next
for
one
the
was 10.
loops. I need the loops at 5.5. So 5.5 and 5.5
Oh,
make
okay,
11. So yeah, 10, 9, 8, or sorry, 10, 9.5, 9, 8.5. This is 8. And then we end up at 7.5. And then it goes for the loop size 5.5, 5. The red and the green are both 4.5. The black is 4, which I'm measuring right now. And then the last ribbon will be a 7.5 inch tail with a 3.5 inch loop. And that's just my formula for what works on the bows that I like. So that's just kind of like my go-to formula. And look, that worked out just perfect.
Yeah, dude.
That's the last of that. We'll have to go see if we can find more. I just like it when you don't get glitter, you know. That's like the best. So I'll hang on to that and look up the SKU, see if I can find it. Okay.
Sabrina said Costco had very large rolls for $7, and they were all really cute.
Yeah. I think, well, for most of us, I think I got mine 2 years ago, and they haven't changed much. But there are some rolls that I've gone through and cycled through pretty heavily. So this one is challenging because the wire is actually on the silver part, which borders the Santa. It's not on the outside edges. So when you go to do your dovetail cuts, you're gonna have to kind of finagle that a little bit, cut through the ribbon, and then reposition your scissors. Reposition them again so that you can get those sharp corners and you don't have it all dull. Okay, Santa, you are almost done. The ribbon part anyway. Okay, 7.5. Last dovetail cut. So this is what I'm saying, you gotta get through that cut, reposition your ribbon so that you can get those points on the tips. Otherwise it just like your ribbon kind of gets off skew a little bit. Oop. Okay. It just does not want to stay on the ribbon. There we go. Okay, let's get a pipe cleaner. And what I'm gonna do is pick this entire thing up. And it's all sandwiched, so everything is a nice layer. So I kind of position it like this. So I'm holding it with my thumb on this side, holding right on to the fold. And then I have this opening, so I can just put my pipe cleaner right through. And then you're gonna twist. And those of you with hand strength problems, twist the bows, just hold the pipe cleaner. So much easier than trying to do it the other way. And trying to make sure. So I use a cutting board because I prefer to fluff my ribbons flat instead of elevated at like an inch or two above. So this is an 18 by 24 inch cutting board with a C-hook attached. I have the nail here in case I need it for pro bow where I'm doing floral wire. For those of you that are looking for an inexpensive alternative, go to Home Depot or Lowe's. They sell pieces of wood in 24 by 24 inches, so it's going to be a little wider here. It'll be a perfect square. And they're already pre-cut, and they'll be way less than a cutting board was. And all I'm going to do is place the C-hook just underneath. So I'll flip this so you guys can see. It just grabs hold of my pipe cleaner and holds it so my ribbon's not sliding around all over the place. And I just prefer to do it long way. So you're gonna pull a tail and a loop opposite directions from your stack. So we're working from the bottom up. So you go over to the other side and you go opposite. So here's our tail and here is the loop. So each time you're looking at your bow from the top, you have tails and loops making a giant X. So then from here we go opposite. So we're gonna bring a tail over here, or a loop over here, and a tail over here. This just has a thicker wire. It's kind of like a flat wire, so it's kind of sticking up. And then I'm going to go here, bring this one over to this side. So technically what is supposed to happen is you have two tails, two loops, two tails, two loops, and then you keep working your ribbon all the way down. I don't fluff as I go, I just separate. So I go to the other side. Here's this. And then here. Then the opposite side is gonna go eeks. Tail and loop. Back up on top. We're gonna go tail and loop. And then we're gonna go loop and tail. Trying to get these all unfolded so they lay flatter. And then from here, we're gonna go loop and our tail and loop and tail. And now you fluff. So now you can make sure that you don't have like the same colors next to one another. So as you can see, I'm bringing my black up so that the Santa ribbon is separated by different colored loops and tails. Then I'll do the same thing for here. I might pull this one to this side, let the green. Here's our red. Get this to come back over where it's supposed to be. Trying to keep them all. Trying to get in there to really fluff the bottom ones. And then to put arcs back in our ribbon, we're just gonna do this. The black doesn't want to cooperate because it's more of a plastic coated on the back. Okay. this. Get this back over here. So what I'm doing while I'm sorting through my ribbon tails is looking at, it's gonna be on the wreath with the Santa. So the bow's gonna kind of be in a slightly upper left-hand corner. So I need to make sure that I don't have tails covering Santa's face. So like right here is an open spot. So that's what the bow looks like. It's weird, it echoes. So then we're just gonna push it off the hook. I'm gonna leave it face that direction. And see, that folds flat, goes right next to your fridge. It's perfect. No storage. Okay, so now we need to look for those internal ones that I told you that we cut off. So I have one right here. We need to keep that section here. So I gotta go find my pipe cleaners. I'm going to attach this right where I removed one of my pipe cleaners from. So you don't want to pull too hard because then you collapse your bow that you just spent time fluffing. So I'm just trying to work my pipe cleaner.
Hey Lynn, Debbie said beautiful bow. Lynn said that black ribbon was a good choice. It really makes a good contrast.
I think it needed it. I mean, the green's okay, but when you look at the sign, we can't forget the sign, right? That it's got some green in it. So now we're gonna just kind of reposition our ribbon around. Do I want to turn it? I think I need to turn it. So hang tight. I'm just gonna grab this really quick and shift it.
Oh, just so the wording.
Just so the wording, yeah, just so the wording goes right. There's the thing about making sure your bow's the right way. When you do that, you need to make sure that you put it on the wreath the right way. So that all that time and effort that you spent doing that
Isn't upside down.
isn't upside down, correct. So let me just refluff this since I kind of grabbed it and pulled it. Here we go. Okay, now we're gonna attach Santa to our wreath. Just like everybody needs to play nice. Okay. Okay. So, first thing we're gonna do is I've gotta look at where's everything need to go. So I'm gonna try really hard to just lay things in place to kind of see where I want everything to go. So I think I might need to go just a touch higher.
Yeah, maybe a little higher, huh?
And then I want his legs going in this direction. He has really chubby legs.
He does. Well,
Right?
Santa's chubby.
It's all the cookies and milk. I'm trying to make sure that the pieces don't get stuck. I know you're trying to help. Because Steve keeps pulling it this way. I'm like, no, no, no. There we go. Move that out of the way. Because he has a really small sign, so his arms can't be out here on either side, so he is positioning. And actually, let me look at something. Hold on. I might change something now that I'm looking at it. I'm just seeing something. His pants need to go up. Leg.
Things need to go way in there too, huh?
They'll be fine. I'm not worried about putting the legs in yet. I'm just trying to figure out where everything needs to get positioned. And yes, I'll finish those. But I was looking at, maybe I kind of wanted to put the bow a little bit at the bottom. What do you guys think? Should we put the bow at the bottom or the top? Maybe bow at the top.
I like it on the side, like you have it.
It needs to be at the top though. Like that. Okay. Legs. Not worried about the arms. Because those will go here. Okay. So it's always just about kind of playing with your position. The legs we'll put on last. So let me go ahead and get Santa's head wired in. So.
Take the tag off.
Huh? I will.
Sabrina said he's so cute and has a ho 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 sign. Oh, he's got the North Pole sign.
Yeah, he has a letter. So this is perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and wire his hat part in. So this Santa, believe it or not, came with no wires at all to wire him in. So all I did is take 22 gauge wire and I just wired them in so that he'll sit really nice. And then we need to attach this right down into our mesh and get him all situated. Whoop. And having a thicker gauge wire really helps when it comes time to getting it through a really thick bit of Deco mesh. Like in this case, we have multiple layers. I just didn't want his face. Like if you had him on the door and you had a gust of wind, we don't need his face flipping up. He does have his own little bell on his hat. So we'll take this. There we go. And now this is what we had to figure out. If you're holding a sign, which way do your thumbs go? Because if you have your hands in mittens, do they go down or do they go up? So it's thumbs up, right? Mm-hmm. This is what we said. Mm-hmm. Thumbs up. So his thumbs are actually going to go just slightly behind the sign. And because the sign is such a thin piece of metal, or not metal, wood, you have the option, you can use the adhesive cable ties, but I prefer not to use those. Just because it's such a lightweight sign, we're actually going to glue his gloves to the sign, and then we're going to wire his hands in. So it's going to look like that. Mm-hmm. So that he's holding, and then technically this would be just as you would hold it. Your thumbs would be on the back side and your hands would be on the front. So we're going to use Gorilla Glue, and we're going to put quite a bit of glue to the corner. We're just going to do one corner at a time. Here's another reason is these hands, Santa hands, don't have wire all the way through. They're just stuffed and that's it.
You could glue the back of the thumb on the back side too.
Yeah, you could. But I'm just going to hold this till it sets. And then this way we can just kind of do it all together as a set, I guess. So I'm just gluing the corners.
Patricia said, Clones, I really enjoy watching videos, especially since I've had some medical issues lately, so I've not felt well enough to work on any wreaths like your Santa wreath.
Oh.
Thank you, Patricia. Hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Sabrina said, Kat, I bought the Santa that pretty much stands on its own. I don't know if I could put him on a wreath.
Yes, you can. I did that last year. That works out perfect. So if you buy a freestanding Santa, I think they're probably like 1.5 feet, 18 inches high. They'll just go nicely inside the wreath. Waiting for his thumb, this one to dry. This one's fine. I can let go. So technically that's what we're doing. I'm just waiting. Waiting.
If you glued the back too, it'd really be in. If you glued the back thumbs and the back, it would really be in too.
but then I have to hold it for a long length of time. Gotta love it when you've got to adapt and make something work, because there's no other way to do it. You know, either Santa's gonna hold a bigger sign, no bow, which you could do. You don't have to add a bow to this design. You can just put Santa right in the middle, make him hold a bigger sign so his hands could be on the outside. What?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wire him in. So just like so, I'm gonna start on this side and get him way over here, because he can reach. I don't want him too far on that side, because then he's on the outer rim of the wreath and that just doesn't look good. So we got to make sure we hit the rail. I'm just trying to twist blindly. And then we'll do the same over here. We're gonna go in.
Sabrina, yeah, she uses Gorilla glue sticks in her glue gun and her glue skillet.
It's really the only kind I think that I prefer, just because it holds so well through the temperatures. Like if you have, like where we live out here, it's pretty extreme. So we have those desert temperatures. Let's see. Thank God for wire. So this is what we have so far. I'll fluff the bow in a minute.
Cute. Mm-hmm.
It's always funny because it's like you're sitting right here just like watching everything like, I want to see, I want to see. So yeah, these wires go all the way down. Let me find out where they end. Where does it end? They don't go too deep. Oh, yes, they do. They go all the way to his feet. So all the way down here to the bottom is where that is. So in order for me to get this to work so it doesn't get stuck, is I have to cut those little ring pieces off.
Curlicues off.
Yeah, because they get stuck in the Deco mesh. So we are going to, I'm going to attach this right to the frame. So I'm taking those all the way in. Just try to want to make sure he's proportionate, I guess.
Those are some thick legs.
He does have really thick legs. So let me go up and over, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. I only have one wire to work with. So I need to make sure that that wire is not going to move around. And then of course the Deco mesh is clinging to every little thing under the sun. Okay, one leg attached. So let me show you. One-legged Santa. That's what he is right now. So it's just attached under here and woven around a crossbar, and then we'll tighten that later. But then when you pull your ruffles back over the top, I guess it kind of hides the Santa suit. So I'm gonna do the same on the opposite side, making sure his leg is oriented the right way. I'm gonna get his, and I'm taking it, I go up to the second ring on the ring. Oop, that would just be the first one. There goes another, boom, outside. Gotta love it. Not. Okay, I'm gonna flip it because it's a little hard for me to see. what I'm doing with one wire. And this wire is really thick.
Yeah, Sabrina, his legs have to be sideways a little bit because it's really kind of hard for the wreath to show with the legs, with
Hold on a sec.
the feet pointing straight out. But you can maneuver them the way you want.
Well, like I said, the fact that the wire goes all the way down into his ankles, you can fold them, you can whatever you want. It'd just be up to a customer's prerogative to pick and choose what they want. So there he is right now. So he's just kind of off to the side. So now we will add some embellishments to the outside. So we're gonna do the same ribbon tails. So we're gonna do the North Pole ribbon and the Santa belt, again, to just keep bringing that emphasis back, North Pole, Santa. So we're gonna put these every other one. Let's see, what ends up happening if we put the belt right between his legs? Let's see what it looks like. That's always a precarious one. You know, do you put a ribbon there? Do you not? I think you have to if you're gonna stay consistent all the way around your theme. It looks good like that. If we leave the Santa belt. Because I was like, should I put North Pole? No. So now, everywhere there's a red tie is going to get the Santa. And then every place where there is a black pipe cleaner, it's going to be our North Pole ribbon. So again, you want to make sure when you're putting your ribbon tails in, and these are cut to 13-inch lengths, you want to make sure that your ribbon's the right side up so that the words, again, all still stay the same. Somebody is lighting off a lot of fireworks.
Terry said Santa's cute.
Thank you. So, options for embellishments. Once we get all of our ribbon tails in, things you can add. You can add jingle bells. What else could they add?
You asking me or them?
Anyone. Asking you, asking them. What other embellishments do you think would look really good with this? Trying to think, you could add holly, because it'll play to the holly on his hat.
If you're really good at sewing, you could make a little felt Santa bag.
Oh yeah, you could. You could add like a little bag right there. That's really good. See, you're extraordinarily creative.
Sabrina said presents.
Presents, yes. Definitely. Little packages all over. You could even make this kind of like a 12 days of Christmas advent. If you wanted to, you could hide little packages like in the wreaths, the bow sections that they go around, because there's 12 on the outside that they could open.
Terry Waters said cookies.
Cookies would be cute.
Stormy said wrapped presents.
That would be really cute too.
Yeah.
So you guys got some great ideas. So we're going
Oh, that's a good idea. Sabrina said use a velvet jewel bag.
Oh, that's true, huh? That is
Just have to
really
find a good
creative.
one.
Yes. That is definitely something you could do. Like, where do they sell those, though? Or would that
Sure, you
just
could
happen
find
to
it
be
on
one
Amazon.
that you have? They are, I'm sure, Amazon. What doesn't Amazon
Amazon has
sell?
everything.
The Santa kit. That's what Amazon
true.
doesn't have. I looked. Don't buy the one for $16.95 with free shipping. It's way too small. You're gonna get it and be like, oh. You can make a mini one, maybe like an 8-inch one. That's about as all that it would fit.
Della said Christmas candy.
Yes. Absolutely. You guys are coming up with
Be
some
holding
great ideas.
candy canes.
He could hold a candy cane. Yeah, because when you go see Santa, he always gives you a candy cane. That is very true. And you guys came up with ideas I hadn't even thought of. And I have the peppermint candies. You could go around and embellish it with peppermint candies. I'm just trying to tie the ribbon colors together. I'm trying really hard not to take away from the Deco mesh in it, because that's still going to be present and viewable.
Yeah, that'd be cute, Sabrina, if you find a little toy glass of milk and cookies.
That would be really cute. Yeah, like a miniature, right? That you could probably get for like, I don't know, a dollhouse. That would be cute. Milk and cookies. You can hold milk in one hand and a cookie in the other. You don't need to hold a sign. Really super cute. I gotta get my pipe cleaners out from my mesh. They're through my mesh. Okay. We will. I'm trying to see where the other. Must be another pipe cleaner. Oh, it's right here up by his foot. Okay. I was like, where's his other pipe cleaner? It's right here. And last one. You playing with his bell?
Yeah.
Okay. Just gonna go right up here. Okay. So he's going to be a lot larger, so he hangs long. But the good thing is when you ship him in the box, you can flip his feet up over the wreath. And then the customer's just going to pull his legs down when they get him.
Don, I think I got what you mean. She said like a naughty or nice list.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah.
cute.
Just
Or a bag
have it
of
scroll
coal.
down. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm gonna go in and we're gonna pop in a couple half bows. I'm not gonna do them, I don't think. We'll see. Let me look. So let me just see if we take the black and we put the black right on top of the belt. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see what this looks like.
Probably kind of look like a buckle, wouldn't it?
I'll spin it around so you can see. And then I can be working on the other ones. So I'm just taking the black glittery ribbon and putting that on all the Santa belt ribbon. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cut the pipe cleaners off after I do that. Okay. Okay. I think, nope, I got that one. Try to go around and do them. Two. Are you fluffing my bow?
No, there's a little something on there.
So when I do the half bows, because I know I'm just blowing through, and assuming you guys just know what I'm doing, half bows. These are what I feel like every time you add a ribbon to a wreath, it feels like there needs to be something in the inside. So whether you add another bow, add an embellishment, I use things sometimes called half bows. And a half bow's like, it's half of a bow because it doesn't have double loops. So I take these at 17 inches, fold them in half, and then I come up to about 2 inches from the top So these will go directly into the pipe cleaner. And then I'll go ahead and twist my pipe cleaners around it. 1, 2, 3, I left it, 5. Twist it about 5 times. Cut it off where it's not twisted. And then you take the leftover piece and tuck it behind the bow. And then you fan out the ribbon so it looks like an awareness bow. So it's laying flat like you see here. So I have a couple more of these. Up underneath. This would have been so cute. There's just so many different ways you could have went in this direction. I just happened to have a sign that looked like a letter. And I was like, that's it. Not too big. So, and I'm still fluffing as I go around. Last one. And then I'll cut off the pipe cleaners. And then we'll put the other one. I don't know if I want to put the other ribbon on. I might just cut these off and add the embellishments, Steve. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, it looks good the way it is. Yeah, you don't even need to add the other ones.
If we just add the embellishments right to that area?
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to go through where we have the North Pole ribbon. I'm just going to twist those off. Oh, I need to do this one. 1, 2. When you get into wreath making and you've been doing it long enough, you get into your own little groove. And I think you have to follow your routine, meaning if you twist your pipe cleaners 5 times and then snip, it just kind of helps you to go on like muscle memory. When you're doing your wreaths, you'll just automatically go that route. Kind of like what I did for my bow. My bow is just, it's the formula I use that works, and I know approximately what size bow it'll create and how full.
Mm-hmm. And it's been around for a long time.
The bow?
The half bows.
Oh yeah. I'm just doing the, there we go. The couple underneath his hat and under the other bow. And then we can embellish. Yes, I did that one. Cool. Okay. Let me fix his bow up here then. Let's go this way. Am I missing something?
Nope.
Okay. Because normally I like look at you and I'm like, do you see something I don't see? Okay.
No, I can just tell right now his beard is like folded, but no big deal.
There you go. You can pull his sign down. Now he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, embellishments. So you guys gave me some great options. You have jingle bells, which can come in red, green, silver, and gold. I probably recommend, I think it's the 1-inch size. They have these ones, which are really super huge. You could add these. I think we'll add a couple jingle bells to it, just so Santa's reindeer has bells, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we'll add a couple of these, and then we're adding little mini packages. So these are in the miniature section at Hobby Lobby. So they come in packages of the lime green, which is kind of in here, red, gold, and silver. So we're gonna kind of take a little bit out of all the colors. And they're meant to be ornaments, so we're just gonna cut off the ornament part. And then we're gonna kind of come in and tuck these in on all those North Pole spaces. We're gonna add little packages. So I try to make sure that the bows are tightly done. We'll put glue on the back and we'll kind of tuck these in. So basically they're like little styrofoam cubes with foil wrapped around. And we'll do this one, we'll add the green. There we go. Trying to make sure they at least set up. And we'll do, the only one that didn't come out was silver.
Let's do her on the line.
Look though, like literally, how many did I have to pull out just to get the silver to fall out? Every other color but that. Make sure the ribbon's tied.
Any questions, gals? She's almost done.
I am almost done. Just a couple more packages and he will be set. I think I'll probably have about 6 packages by the time we're done. And I want to say, how many packages come in this box?
That's a lot. It's like 50.
45. 45 packages.
Lisa, that's a good question. You just kept researching. She's all, do you know where I can get the bear? I've looked everywhere.
The bear?
Yeah. Craft Outlet, the wreath shop.
The black bear or the brown bear? Because I found them, I want to say they're on Craft Outlet. They're expensive this year. They normally, when it's not a seasonal item, I want to say they about $15, but now I think when I saw it on Craft Outlet Friday, it was $21.95. And it's hard to imagine this Santa kit, because you can pull it up on Craft Outlet. It's $29.95. And I'm like, good Lord. Mm-hmm. If I was doing it, I don't think I would spend that much money on a kit.
Carol said, you should make some beautiful wreaths. Have you ever made one with a snowman? You just did one last week.
Yeah, we did the snowman one last week. Matter of fact, he sold today.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be making another snowman. So check that.
Also a Craft Outlet or the wreath shop, but they only have certain colors that are available.
Yeah. So you look them up under wreath kits. And let's see. Gold. Red. Trying to see what color really pops. I don't like the limey green. Silver, maybe. What do you think? Silver.
Silver or red? Yeah.
Yeah, not the red. Some of the red look almost like pink.
Carla, the great thing about the presents is once you glue it to the bottom, the hot glue sticks really amazing to the Deco mesh. It's like a net, and it just sticks right in there. So she usually glues it right to the Deco mesh.
Yeah, Deco mesh is like so amazing to add all this to. And then I said we're going to add a couple.
Thank you, Don. She replied, she's all, try Wreath of Joy. She had some.
What, the bear?
Wreaths of Joy, yeah. Wreath of Joy.
Okay. See, there's places I don't know. Like, I start looking at the hard-to-find places like Amazon, eBay, Etsy, stuff like that. So I am just going to...
And that was in the public group, wasn't it? The snowman?
I think so. There's definitely a snowman video in the public group.
And Carol, you can go back and rewatch it. It should be in the public group. Or it's on our YouTube page too.
Yeah, I think there's one there. Just look up snowman wreath tutorial. And I'm just gonna add a couple bells. So I'm just adding these, I'm tying these actually in.
To the pipe cleaners.
No, I'm tying them directly to the ribbon.
Oh.
So I'll show you when I spin this around. I'm gonna put one on each side. Yeah.
Gotcha.
His foot's stuck. He tripped over the mat. So I'm gonna put another one down here. So we'll have a couple of them. So because these are,
Oh, I didn't realize they had little ties on them.
well, they're ornaments. So I take them, just cut them open, and then I just tie them
Gotcha.
around my bow. And put a giant knot in it so it ain't coming out. Gotta make it a knot. Okay, here we go. That way it hangs down from the top. And then I just cut the extra piece off because the threads just have a tendency of hanging down. But yeah, let me shove all these back in before my cats have a field day thinking that they're cool cat toys that we got them. Not. So, there you have it. We'll put him on the door so you guys can see how big he is. Oops. Okay. Come on, Santa. I think he's gonna look really good on our black door. Let's make sure that you can see everything you're supposed to see. What do you guys think?
Tony said he is beautiful. Mary said, KatsCreation, thank you. I've always enjoyed your videos.
Oh, thank you.
Lisa said my cat got into my pom-pom stash. They were all over the house.
Those are really cute cat toys.
Gail said, love it.
Nice.
Everybody's giving lots of loves and likes. Sabrina, Lisa, and Gail said, love it.
Okay.
Donna said, love, love, love this one. Yeah, he's cute.
Very cool. Is he straight?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. There you guys go. Santa. He's the only one. So in 3 years, I've never made a Santa. So now I can say, Santa wreath done. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Wow, it looks really good on the black door.
It does.
So yeah, we'll get pictures up. He's already listed on my Etsy site, so if you guys like him and want to pick him up, he's the only one we'll have. The only one I'll be making this year. So other than that, don't forget Friday at 5, Steve and I are switching roles. So he's making a wreath. I know he's like shaking his head like, please don't remind them. Join us Friday. He's going to make a Christmas wreath. And I'll be reading all of your comments, and we'll go from there. Other than that, you guys have a great work week, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye, everyone.